Hello!
Hello.
And welcome to Stay Cool Forever.
This is the podcast where we're looking at old 90s films and putting them through a 2018 lens to see how they hold up.
2019.
Oh, shoot. That's right. 2019.
And see if they hold up to, movie standards of today, as well as, oh my god, pop culture, personal, what am I looking for here?
The 90s-isms.
Yeah.
The relevance.
Yeah.
They were making different kinds of movies back then, for sure, and especially in the comic book movie genre, which is what we're tackling this month.
Yeah. And we just did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was amazing.
It was a real good time.
A real good time. And this week we did Spawn.
From 1997, so 7 years after Ninja Turtles, we're seeing a lot of different kinds of technology and CGI being introduced to action movies.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what else came out. Steel, the Shaq vehicle, came out this year for another superhero movie.
Oh, yeah!
And I'm sure there were, we were doing Batmans and hadn't quite hit that golden age set of, the MCU stuff.
Yes. How far away are we from that?
I want to say early 2000s.
Right, it had to have been...
They've been doing them for 10 years, right? So I guess maybe 08?
08, okay, somewhere around then.
Maybe it's later than I thought.
Maybe a shitty Hulk and a shitty Green Lantern.
Yeah, we had a couple. There was that Superman one-off.
Mm-hmm, and definitely the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans probably had been around.
Right, those were 2000s.
Yeah, we were testing the waters then. But so this one in 97... Spawn definitely is a product of its time. I know we were saying before we started recording that using the CGI in this movie the way they did completely dates it because CGI wasn't yet ready.
Yeah, especially compared to the practicals, because there was lots of good puppet work and costuming. There were even set design and scenes was real reminiscent of the Tim Burton Batmans and The Crow, where you have these gothic sets that are solid.
Yes.
But when you juxtapose that with this barely rendered, they look like cutscenes from video games of the time. It's jarring.
On the topic of cutscenes, the consistent Spawnisms, the Spawn scenes, where they're side wiping the screen just to do a Spawn fire through it, only to go to a 2-second scene of someone else's story, and you get to move on, and then it flashes again, and then it goes to a different part of the story. That's poor storytelling.
The pacing was all over the place. The script definitely not great, and the jarring transitions of flame wipes and the heavy use of green CG sparkles and mists and smokes, and it reminded me so much of The Mask.
Yes.
Which I think was 94.
Okay.
There's the Violator shaking the clown makeup off his face, or the farts, and just a lot of
There's so much to we're tapping into so many things already. The first thing that struck me was that there was an animatronic creature specialist and effects team, which they don't do animatronics anymore.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was for the Violator fights.
For sure.
Which I thought looked really good. I mean, maybe I was adjusted to the poor CG, so that impressed me. But I thought overall, it was done pretty well considering.
Yeah, I mean, I think those actual fight scenes were good. I think the just fire the gun indiscriminately scenes were really, really poorly done. For example, the scene where Martin Sheen's out meeting foreign dignitaries. Spawn shows up, and then the priest comes over the balcony and just starts hailing bullets down. Mm-hmm. With complete disregard to everyone in the room, including her boss.
And people, touching on that, the reactions that people have.
Yeah.
That scene happened when a dude flew in, he broke in through the ceiling, and was a giant magical red cape, and everybody's just kind of oh my, what, and then they just start shooting one-liners at each other.
Yeah.
Eat bullets, Spawn, or I don't know. Just
I think I definitely wrote one down. I think nice outfit asshole was right before she started shooting.
Yeah.
I believe. Not sure. There were a bunch of horrible one-lines in this movie. I think Even the CGI and the title cards.
We had to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
A whole 3-minute song. And that, okay, like, Nolan had the right idea with you put the credits at the end of a superhero movie. Let's start the story.
Yes.
Because this one not only had a really brief intro with that kind of music video, flames and doves and, like, pictures of the things you're about to see with that narration from the old Scottish wizard, Coglioso. But then we get the whole, like, first scene with Al where he gets betrayed. And then we get another, like, very similar looking sequence. So, like, the first, like, 8 minutes of the movie is just, like, montage, like, music video montage stuff with, like, flames, doves, and, like, it's not storytelling. It's just images.
Yeah, a lot of this movie, they sort of tell you the story.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let it develop. It just happens, and you go, okay, well, that happens. For example, when we see burnt up Spawn after he's been burnt to a crisp by double-crossing Martin Sheen, I assumed that hell is just a homeless haven along the lines of, like, Skid Row.
Okay.
And then you then find out that, oh no, he was, in hell for 5 years and he's got no memory of it. But you find out that he has no memory of it because the narrator says he's got a fragmented memory.
Mm-hmm. And then, to boot, Violator takes him on a little memory lane thing where we flash back to some of the movie we've already seen.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get the CG, oh, you fell to hell, and immediately just, like, literally describing the plot. Like, here's the deal, you do this. Okay, Wanda. Moving on. Like, they wanted to tell the entirety of Spawn's mythology and set it up in such a huge way, and I think they missed telling anything resembling a personal human story for anyone.
Absolutely.
It's like, I wanted to root for Spawn, but I didn't like him. I just felt like, Michael J. White's great, but in this, it was just like, the acting was confusing for everyone, because I don't think they knew what they were doing. Except Martin Sheen. He just grumbled his way through the whole thing.
Martin Sheen does a good or evil mastermind dignitary.
Yeah, but still super one-dimensional. Like,
yeah.
I didn't know who this guy was. He was just evil and proud of himself.
I particularly enjoyed that in the 5-year time that Spawn was being spawned in hell. I particularly enjoyed that Martin Sheen moved up from, like, little cigarillos to real cigars, and his beard got thicker.
Okay, I didn't even catch the goatee.
Yeah,
because late 90s, we're talking.
What's going on?
Peak goatee.
It's got to get a little thicker. That's what's going on. I just and Terry's that was his name, Terrence. Yeah, Terry's beard also got a little bit thicker. It just seemed so. Why do that? I don't think we need a visual cue that time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Especially if they're just going to tell us.
And so, am I to assume then that the devil, Malbolgia, excuse me, that there's an even deviler devil, right? Because that's not the real devil, is he?
I'm not super familiar with the universe of the comics. I get the gist of it, but he's a placeholder for the devil. I don't think the devil.
Okay.
I may be wrong.
I assumed that Satan's got a close council of minions, and one of them's Malbolgia.
Yeah, he's like
a demigod.
Upper management.
Upper management. Yeah, he's a director of demons. And if our Violator friend here could choose a form other than, the devil form that he was, why would he choose to be the person that he chose to be?
The clown?
Yeah.
Because that's how it was in the comics. It was supposed to be creepy because people are afraid of clowns, and he's just this big, gross clown doing bits, like narrating the adventures of Spawn and occasionally interfering.
Well, so, okay, on the topic of narration, we got narrations from Mr. Cogliostro and from the Violator. What? Why? We're getting the good and evil narration going on? It just seemed...
But, like, the Violator was all just fart jokes.
Furthermore, yes.
And, like, weird
Why?
middle school boy, like...
do I need this? This movie didn't need fart jokes because he's gross. He could have just been gross. I don't need to know that he's got skid marks on his underwear.
Yeah, it really undercut the kind of dark tone that they would have wanted to go for. Like, there's like a dark, morbid humor that might have worked in this place, and I think that's more what the comics did. But this one was like, Johnny Legs, John Leguizamo, like, you're gonna be our clown, so like, go nuts, man.
God bless John Leguizamo.
Oh no, he gave,
Yeah, he gave it his all.
He committed. Yeah, that guy always delivers, and this is gotta be one of the weirder roles. And he's done weird shit. But
yeah. And I think that he did a great job. I mean, again, it's Johnny Legs. He's never not gonna do a good job. And I just wish this could have been better. This could have sincerely been better. And on the topic of things that don't fucking matter in this movie, why the Satanists at the gravesite?
That was actually a high point for me.
Yeah, but okay.
we just got to see some other people that exist in this world.
Sure.
And sure, it was like cliche. Like a bunch of, alt bros, like, doing a ritual, looking for a fresh skull, but, like, for me, that was a welcome departure from the kind of weirdly stilted, spoon-feeding you this story.
Sure. Okay, I didn't see it like that. I saw it as okay, here's another, I didn't need that. Let's move on. I think they existed just to get scared. I guess they needed someone to react to Spawn getting his armor.
Right, that big reveal.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which, I'm going to be honest with you, I think was the coolest part of the whole movie. Was him when his armor would come out.
That was definitely one of the better effects. There are some successes there, like the occasional where the cape looks rendered and nice, or where the chains aren't so terrible.
Yes.
And it's not so much just glowing green. I want to try to see, I thought the practicals and the sets were really good.
The sets were great.
It's just so much was lacking, and I know fans of Spawn deserve a better story. Just like a better chance. To my understanding, the movie had a $20 million budget, and it got doubled because of all the CG. A third of a $40 million budget was for the CG, and that's the best. That's the best they could do with it. I feel like it all went to the Violator scenes.
Yes.
And everything else just got the Kiss Psycho Circus music video treatment of
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So it could have. It probably could have been better had they had, $100 million budget, but I don't think they would have made their money back.
Oh yeah, they.
I'm sure. I don't even know if they did now.
No, I don't think they did.
Oh yeah. By the way, I'm Zach.
I'm Wade.
And
Roger Ebert gave this 3.5 out of 4 stars.
He gave Spawn 3.5 out of 4 stars?
Yep.
Oh, god damn it.
I didn't read the review. That was just a little piece of trivia that's can you believe it?
I usually read his reviews for these movies, and I didn't read this one. And that's shocking to me.
Yeah.
I'm convinced now that reviewers like Roger Ebert, there's some sort of payola going on there.
Maybe, or they get wined and dined, by the producers, and it's more about how you feel about the people involved than the product on the screen.
Without a doubt.
I'm sure that can be the case.
There were no honest reviews on there anymore, I think. And I just would like to say that I think a high note for this, and Christopher Nolan, I think, took a page out of this movie's book.
Yeah.
This is the origination of the Batman voice.
Oh, for the growly.
Well, for Spawn. Spawn's got a, gravelly...
He's got a Spawn voice.
Yeah.
Like Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is it. This is the moment.
The world... Now we're ready.
I think that, why was Martin Sheen awake for the heart procedure?
Because he's evil. I honestly didn't remember. I've seen this. Had you seen this before?
No.
Okay. I did, I think, in theaters.
Okay.
You know, you're younger, the bar is lower. I expected him to be revealed to be, you know, like a devil in a human suit.
Oh, cool.
Or something. Just because his character was so one-dimensionally evil, I didn't get a sense that, like, oh, he's making a deal with the devil. And
yeah.
I guess he was just a guy who was really evil.
He was just a bad guy. I don't even think he really made a deal with the devil. The devil just came, they found out what he was doing and said, hey, maybe we can join science here.
Yeah, you kill this guy, we can use him as our leader to sack heaven, and then when the world ends, we'll give you a cool pad in hell.
Hell doesn't look so dope.
No, it's real, just flames and hot stones.
Hot stones. I felt a little lied to at the end when we saw all the Spawn army, standing around cheering, and they all looked like Spawn.
Yeah.
So am I to assume that
all hell spawns are
like our Spawn?
Yeah.
And so he's actually not special?
Well, he's special because he made the deal, and he's supposed to be the commander of the Hellspawn army, but he's like on Earth finding himself or something. He's special because of his circumstances. It seems like he'd have the same power as everyone else.
Our Spawn creeps into a kid's party?
Yeah, I was saying, a guy looking like that would not get far in a suburb in the late 90s. Like,
excuse me, sir.
He would have been shot on sight, or the pound would have come and, like, thrown him in a cage and driven him out to, next town over or something.
Yeah,
And we're freaked out by that, but not the clown. Like, this impossibly short, like, as wide as he is tall.
Yes,
like,
that's
creepy,
okay.
He's got, like, razor teeth.
I think the teeth are the sign that he's, like, not of this world. So I don't know why you would go, okay, let's hire the clown. Have you ever been to a party that had a clown?
No.
Neither have I.
A magician, maybe.
A magician, I have actually, yeah, but a clown, I've never witnessed a clown at a party, and I'm beginning to think that those things don't exist.
It's just a movie thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a thing back in the 60s.
Okay.
But, like, the people who write and create movies refuse to let the trope go.
Yeah, you gotta have a clown at the party.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Or entertainers in general. I don't have kids or know a ton of people with kids throwing birthday parties, so I don't know about what kind of entertainment you hire, talent-wise, or if you just do bouncy house and, like, host it yourself.
Jesus, I've never been at a party that had something greater than a magician. I don't think there's... Not that I go to a lot of kids' parties now, but I just don't think that there's really a need anymore for an entertainer at a kids' party.
Oh, especially a clown. It's like, what tricks are you going to do? You don't need the makeup and, like, the old dated costume.
You're going to squirt water out of your flower? You think people don't see that? That's just on SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's nothing... I guess there's that, too, that television's changed for kids. That's why they wouldn't find the same kind of zany joy that 60s kids might have out of a clown.
Yeah, before they were terrifying. Okay, I got a question for you. Were you familiar at all with the comics? You said you didn't watch the movie, so, like...
I used to have the toys.
Okay.
I had the toys.
Which was a huge part of
the
whole, like, Spawn's legacy as a commercial success. Is, like, McFarlane made some of the best figurines.
Oh, hands down.
Toys.
Those were dope toys.
Yeah.
But, no, I never read the comics. I never had a background of it. I have vague memories of, like, seeing the trailer for this movie.
Okay.
I think I was old enough to want to watch it. But I don't think... What was this rated?
PG-13.
PG-13? Okay.
Which I only found out after the fact and was like, exclamation point, PG-13. But yeah, there weren't F-bombs or...
That's why it was such
blood
kiddie... He called someone a dipstick.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Jokes. Sure.
That makes a lot more sense now. So maybe I did watch this and I just don't remember. Whatever. Yeah. I think that was the lamest bike scene, motorcycle chase scene I've ever seen in my life.
And furthermore, I didn't know where it came from. It was one of those things where you just had like a flame wipe and then on to the next scene, and it's like, he's on a motorcycle chasing the Violator. I'm like, well, what's the Violator doing? Is the truck important? Where are they going? Like, you're not giving me context. You
Violator's
you
just
wanted
going.
a motorcycle scene, and you're doing it. And yeah.
And I like that something that really can stop, something that stops Spawn is necro goo.
Yep.
Which seems a little convenient that our evil madman's got a truckload of it.
Mm-hmm.
He must have just spawned it in.
Ooh, he seems to have mask powers, like Violator, where
yes.
he just will cartoonishly have whatever is necessary for his jokes or
I agree.
The situation. Yeah, classic lines like, time for some necro goo.
Time for some necro goo.
Well, I was going to say on the topic of not being familiar with this, I think it was HBO that distributed a pretty decent series that was more like comic panels with voiceover work.
It was a cartoon, right?
More so than, yeah.
I saw that when I was looking this up on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think that gives a good sense of, if we're going to just treat it comic book-wise, that series did a much more faithful,
okay.
Version of the character than a Hollywood movie that was, like, not at all ready to tell this story.
Mm-hmm. And I think nowadays we definitely are ready for a dark comic book story.
Mm.
I think this movie could have been a lot better had they have not told the full story.
Sure.
Maybe just spawns back. Just spawns here.
Mm-hmm.
And, you open on dry on like some chasing and you kick someone's ass and you're like, oh, whoa, what's this guy? And then you kind of learn about his story as the story unfolds.
Yeah.
Instead of getting an unnecessary beginning, like, intro twice.
Mm-hmm. And you see the origin story, and as you are being told the origin story, and you get the training montage in, like, an hour of a 90-minute movie, where he's like, this is how you actually use your powers. And so far he's just been running around with guns, and, like, I don't know.
I think it's funny that his first order of business was to go get guns. I understand that that's his prerogative, but in the same way that I always wondered, in the Matrix, they were able to carry a bunch of guns, but they at least showed how they were all strapped on. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy that when you give me some sort of realism and you get to see where they're holding everything. Because I can't stand someone who goes and gets like 6 giant fucking guns and I don't see him leave with it. He's got no bag. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why.
Could be magic.
Could just be magic.
Just hiding them in a green magic pocket. But like like Spawn is a superhero, we don't see him use his powers until the last like 10 minutes in those awful CG hell scenes.
That's right.
And he's using machine guns the whole movie, so like even as far as like let's see Spawn's awesome powers, like well you don't, like you see him fly, you see him use his cape as camouflage, and then not in the same scene and give his position away. Seconds later, you see his hands turn into suction cups, and it's like, okay, we're seeing that he can do these things, but like we're not really getting compelling examples of him using this stuff.
Yeah, they just, again, so much opportunity to do cool shit that was non-existent. Mm-hmm. Everything was very convenient. This movie was just very convenient for good and bad services. Mm. Why overly sexualize the priest?
Oh god, yeah. So she was in the full leather, like Matrix style getup.
Yeah,
but there were like shots of hers where like action was kind of happening, and it was just a medium of her ass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, maybe that's comic booky.
I get it. Like yeah, I mean, lady costumes in comic books are always skin tight and they're
over accentuated.
Yeah, and they have perfect figures. But she just then she just dies. Like she's just there to be a hot chick that's like, what's the matter, Al? You losing your cool? Haha, great idea, evil boss. Nice costume, asshole. And then she dies, and I'm like, was she gonna come back? Because I know she was adapted from a comic character that was like completely different. So
oh, word.
And I knew that before going into this rewatching, so I was like, maybe there was something else cool that happened with her, because it seems like a real wasted opportunity to just have a goon. You establish it, you give her a cool costume and like a one-liner, and she's just gone, like
done
real early in the movie, forever.
So, if you died, this may get cut out, but if you died, and your best friend was there for your wife, would you be all right with that?
They seemed to have a good relationship. They were like Marines together. He was dead. And obviously he can't get his wife back looking and being what he is. So, I don't know. I'd like to think I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
But, no. this probably should get cut. Because, like, me and my wife don't really want to have kids. So if I died and came back and she had a kid with someone else, I'd be like, what the fuck? You do want to have my kids? My feelings. Okay.
Oh! Sorry.
Hit me.
So, who was it? Someone goes, well, do you know about Cyan? And Spawn looks at him, and then they end it. And I never got to find out what actually happened to Cyan.
I thought Cyan was the daughter.
Cyan is the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the daughter was alive, was she not?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She was like a hostage at the end when they're all sitting by the fireplace.
Yeah.
Not reacting to things.
But so in one of the first scenes when Spawn comes back and he's talking to Martin Sheen, I believe, Martin Sheen goes, well, do you know about Cyan? And he goes, no. And he like turns his head like a puppy that's interested.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wipe it away. But they never said anything about something happened to Cyan.
Perhaps her existence, like, do you know about your widow's daughter with the new guy? Like, that would upset him or something?
Okay, so they didn't have a kid before, Al and his wife.
Yeah, that was Terry's kid.
Oh!
Is that what?
Got it,
What
okay.
I'm reading into this?
Sure.
Because the dog knew him, but the daughter didn't.
Oh.
I think. I
I
don't
thought
remember
the daughter
seeing a
was
baby.
alive. Jesus, I don't know.
remember seeing a baby in the beginning before Al died.
True. The mom was driving that sports car. Interesting.
But the kids in this movie, like, it's the whole Frankenstein thing of like, oh, kids don't see ugly, so they'll be nice to Spawn. Like, hey, mister, you want some candy? Or that fucking kid in Rat Town. Rat City, that's just like, he literally says, hey, mister, like 20 goddamn times in the first minute he's been introduced.
Hey, mister! At the end, that kid, homie dapped some homeless people. I don't know if you saw that. On his return, he was just walking around, saying what's up to the homeless on the street. He was doing very well for being a now fatherless orphan of the streets.
Yeah.
I think they could have had more of a story about, like a renewed relationship. Maybe Spawn's jealousy of his wife having a kid with his ex-best friend. And so he finds friendship in the... I don't know. I really hate grown-up outfits on kids also.
Yeah. Did he have, like, fingerless gloves and, like, a cabbie hat or something?
Yeah, I mean, it was total... backwards hat and the hoodie. It was absolute outsiders kind of look. Just a little outrageous.
Nice piece of trivia for you. The Cagliostro guy, that actor.
I recognized him.
Nicole Williamson did like old English, or he's Scottish, but he did a ton of English, like Masterpiece Theater, The Exorcist 3, and this was his last role.
Oh.
Did
he die?
He retired.
He
and passed a
retired.
few years later, but allegedly refused to grow a beard or wear a fake beard, as his character does in the comics for this movie.
Interesting.
And I got the sense he was confused and didn't know why he was there or didn't want to be there. Like, he did have the gravity of a classical English actor, but he felt like out of place or like uncomfortable. Maybe that's just me reading like through this production.
No, I think I agree with you. I think he's just a one-sided character. He's the good guy, and didn't really. I don't know. No one really owned their roles here. No one felt like they were really.
Yeah, they were the
into
singular,
it.
and I don't think they were. I know at least for Spawn, they were thinking of a lot of other actors, like what we had, like Denzel or Will Smith or Wesley Snipes, who ended up doing Blade instead. Like,
That's right.
Not to say that Michael J. White is a B actor, but not their first choice. And yeah, like you said, no one really, the material and production didn't give anyone a chance to shine as their characters.
Can you imagine having to read that script and then deciding Yeah, I'm in. It sounds great. The pay must have been amazing for John Leguizamo.
Oh yeah.
I still think he's like a good enough actor to have turned down something he didn't want to do. Maybe even in the 90s.
But maybe he wasn't turning things down then.
Yeah, he must not have been. I truthfully don't know. I think my favorite fashion piece was the in the intro iteration of the A6 compound, the guards were wearing fucking Oakleys. You know, like those 90s circle glasses. Yeah. Come on. And then I think the law was kind of non-existent. Were there really any comps? I feel like we just got A6 military.
Only when it was convenient. The scene where he broke into the ball or the gala, and then the cops showed up to like watch him climb a building. Which again was like one of those scenes that was like way more interesting because it was more practical. It was at night. You had this sense of a world outside reacting appropriately to like this crazy shit that's happening. Yeah, but yeah. A lot of the times, this was like a Ninja Turtles criticism I had too. Was like this town seemed kind of empty, or there was a lack of extras or a world existing. Like you clearly just shut down the road and brought in your like stunt crew. Yes. And there's like their lights aren't even on. You're just on like an abandoned road or which is a nitpick.
It's okay.
For this one.
That's all right.
I feel like we're kicking it while it's down.
You know, I mean, I wanted to enjoy this movie.
But how do you think where we are now with superhero movies? Like, I'm excited to think of, a reboot for this because they're clearly going to take another stab at it. So what do you think are some ways, based on what we have now, or like actors, directors, like that we could do right? Well,
so I definitely think it needs to be a better thought out story, so that you don't get a Venom. You know, I want something that is dark but has some sort, like, there doesn't even need to be that much like action or CGI. If we just get a good story going, I would definitely enjoy watching that. I think we're ripe for a reboot, but actor wise, I say we let John Leguizamo, prove us wrong here, and that he can do a better version of this guy with better writing.
All right. Yeah, why not?
Fuck it, right? Or actually, it would be kind of fun if we gave the role to someone like the Hobbit who is in Lost. Let's give it to someone
Charlie?
like that. Sure.
I forget that actor's name, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like it could be fun, and he's little. Throw a little fat makeup on him.
Yeah, and it's going to be mostly makeup anyway, so just someone who can...
Why not?
Yeah.
And if we're doing... we're not... No, I was going to say Michael Che, just because... I'm just trying to...
For Spawn?
I should take this seriously.
I was thinking, like, if they weren't a little too old, maybe, like Idris Elba... Or a Mahershala Ali.
Oh my god! Oh, Mahershala Ali could be good.
Like dudes with gravity, would sell it, no problem. But
I don't see Denzel doing it. I don't see Idris doing it.
Yeah, they're like a little past that maybe. I don't know. Michael B. Jordan seems to be delivering every role he gets lately.
Michael B. Jordan could be good. So is this a DC property, or this is completely outside?
This is Image. This is like Todd McFarlane worked for Marvel, created Venom, and worked on that stuff, and then he split off and created Image Comics with Spawn.
Okay, so then we could get Michael B. Jordan, because it's not.
Not in the same universe.
I think let's get Patrick Stewart as Cagliostro.
Yep,
Cagliostro.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart with a beard.
Uma Thurman.
Dressed like Van Helsing.
Uma Thurman as the priest.
Sure. Kill Bill reprise.
Yeah. And director, since you said Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino, I think. Oh, Robert Rodriguez could be fun.
Yeah. That sounds right, because he does like the messed up supernatural horror kind of stuff.
That could be really good, actually.
And he's got a good studio. He did the Sin City, so we know he can do the noir, super violent, rated R, like comic book stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely pick him for director.
All right. Do you have I guess we kind of went through yours. What you were thinking, unless you got other people you want.
Yeah, pretty much. No, just going off of kind of what you said. Like,
okay.
I didn't think of Robert Rodriguez, but I like that one. 90s isms of this. The only thing I could catch was the Marilyn Manson song. When Spawn's sort of realizing what's up and how fucked he is in Rat City, which I thought was like a good use of, if we want to go like dark, music.
Totally.
That scene, I guess, again, is like practicals and the song kind of peaking when it did. Like, that worked for me. It reminded me of The Crow, which we're doing next. But like, where music sets a scene very successfully, even if it is like dated and stylized a certain way. Like,
it can work.
Yes.
I think a 90ism was the super top secret mini CDs.
Yeah, or like the video game Missile. And those post Cold War, like, we've got like African princes and like, Middle Eastern dignitaries.
And then the fact that there was the TV, there was a small TV bit where they're talking about how peace process with the Arabs and the Israelis isn't going well.
North Korean chemical factory.
Yeah, I don't know if you would have called them Arabs back then. Maybe you did, but should be Palestinians.
Yeah, but it wasn't like deliberately derogatory, so I think they just hadn't acquainted themselves with a nicer way of saying that. I know Johnny Legs refers to the goons in the graveyard as retards, and of himself as a midget. So there's like a couple language issues in a PG-13 movie that are not.
Guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I think those are fair.
Did you find any good quotes for this one?
Yeah,
there was some interesting.
Yeah, I've got some good
dialogue
quotes
for sure. All right,
you want to go back and forth?
Sure.
This 5-year plan chaps my buttocks.
First line of the movie: Simmons is the best.
Yeah. Looks like I'm up for a promotion. You wipe his ass too?
Where you're going, every day's Halloween.
I'll always love you. Forever.
Gunshot wound to the head. She's dead.
Oh, yeah. Even the entire cast of ER couldn't fix you?
Spawn's not a stranger, Mommy.
Oh, yeah. Get away from me, you fudge-packing idiot.
Ooh, I missed that one. You spitting up decent food?
Oh, that's right, he said spitting up. Told you we needed a bigger pentagram?
That's right. Feel the burn. Get used to it. 'Cause it's payback time. See you in hell.
This freak stuff is going to come in handy when I get my hands on Win.
Wow, your face is weird. Cool.
Cool. Are there any normal people on Earth, or is everyone just back from hell?
That's all I got.
Oh, okay, I got one more.
Hit it.
When all the world is mine, I will personally fry your lard ass.
That was actually one I didn't read. I didn't have the first half of it.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
Yeah. Fry your lard ass.
I think in a 2019 view, we could get a version of this that talks about, how shitty money-grubbing commerce, and like commercialism and,
your bad guys that, are like the sociopaths at the top of society.
Yeah.
Arms dealers, there's something there.
There's definitely something there, and we could get some sort of, thought experiment on what happens if the best guy to save the world is a man who's from hell.
Mm-hmm. Or what if they made it a period piece?
And
like went hard 90s with it.
Okay.
And like worked off of like satanic cult paranoia and like
okay,
kind of a resurgence of like some more extremist Christianity elements.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. There's stuff to talk about.
I'm into that. I'm definitely into that. I think there's
urban blight, homelessness.
Homelessness.
Spawn is the champion of Rat City.
Yeah. Where was this supposed to take place, by the way? Do we know?
Man, I don't remember. And I didn't look up like what Spawn's town is. If it's like a comic book, you know, just a Gotham kind of place.
That's what that seems like.
Yeah.
Well,
with the my last
go ahead.
With a hard disparity between like complete dumpster alleyway, homeless trash can fire village, and then like regular old city right outside of it. Like there's a moment where Al, like when he's, you know, burnt and like leaves Rat City and like bumps into some well-to-do, you know, lady in fur coat that's like, whoa!
That's right.
And then he falls into a pile of garbage.
That's
and I'm
right.
like, wow, so this is like right next to this part of town.
You just don't go down that alley.
Yeah. There's like an entire civilization over there. They get up to some weird shit.
So what's your band?
I'm gonna give it a Marilyn Manson.
Oh, okay.
Because like I didn't love it. It was like dark, heavy, really trying to lean into the future of music, but very kind of. I didn't hate Marilyn Manson, but
Did I?
it was a little on the surface. You know, it felt insincere and kind of like a big fucking mess at times that just wanted you to feel the dark things without really having.
Surface level.
I don't want to badmouth Marilyn Manson. He'll get me. But yeah, that's mine. What's yours?
Frontline Assembly.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah,
I could see that
because it's
sure.
less influential than Ministry, but a train wreck of a band.
Mm-hmm. You can see what they were going for and how cool that would have been.
Totally could have been great.
Not what you get on the screen.
Unfortunately, no. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, well done. Well, I'm really excited about the remaining two that we have to do. So
me too.
We're gonna put a stamp on Spawn. I'd say watch the HBO thing. I can't, in good conscience, recommend anybody watch this movie.
Yes, I agree. I wouldn't really want anyone to watch it. But yeah, so thanks for listening. You can email us at staycoolforever, and that's the number 4 @gmail.com. You can find us on Pippa, Stitcher, iTunes, Google.
Where did we hit our
Podmust?
Is that where we're? We're killing it on Podmust.
And
right,
thank
Zach?
you, Podmust listeners, for taking us in the top 10. I believe we're number 7th on the Podmust list, and so thank you.
Yeah, thanks, and
we're coming for the number 6 spot. Tell your friends.
Yeah, make us number 1.
Make us number 1.
And stay cool forever.